Up next on ijdm, testing out the Atmosphere TV bar, restaurant, tavern, hotel, streaming box for businesses. ijdm starts now.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Welcome to another ijdm video. On this one, we're taking a look at the Atmosphere TV. I have been wanting to do this for probably about a year and a half. I've tried contacting the company. They say you don't have a business, which I kind of do because I have this YouTube thing and some weather channels, but they basically said, no, it needs to be a restaurant or business type address, and I really don't have that type of thing. That being said, very cool system. I borrowed this one from a friend. He said I can do without it a day or two, but I do have to bring it back right away because it is ad supported and they have to have it on for a certain amount of hours per week for it to basically pay for itself. Otherwise, you got to pay a monthly fee. But as long as you leave it on, I believe it currently, as of doing this video, I believe if you leave it on for at least 40 hours a week, then you meet your requirements, because then they get their ad revenue generated to keep the device free for your business. So very good deal there. Startup costs are very cheap. $50 for the box I feel is totally fair. I'm not going to say there's two different boxes. There's an older generation one that was made on one platform, and then they made one that's more customized to their situation for doing this type of thing. So that all being said, let's go ahead and get right into this. This is basically a TV system within a TV system. It's not your typical streaming box, like I said, made for businesses. So basically, you can set up all kinds of stuff. You can do custom playlist and do custom things like that, but I'm not going to bother because they're right down here. You can actually set up, which type of videos you want to play in a loop. So if it's in a fitness center, obviously you have some fitness videos on. If you're in a restaurant, then sports scores and maybe some trivia. Same with bars, and then auto shops, maybe an automotive channel and so forth. Only thing I see kind of missing here, where there should be some room for something, is a weather information channel. That would be kind of nice to have, especially if you set up a playlist where it's playing a certain type of video for 15 minutes and switches to another one. Then it would be nice to see the weather along with, say your sports scores and different social media frenzies going on. But we got things on adrenaline, viral hits, all the viral videos that are going around the internet, different things on animals and family fun. Got your Chive TV, which basically everybody knows what that is. It's just basically another one of those things where, anything that's kind of trending, they're showing it. Something with dogs, I'm guessing. I've got a special Halloween TV thing, because as of doing this video, obviously it's Halloween time of year, so they put that channel in here. Keep in mind, again, this is just for businesses. It's not for home use, which I'm going to get into that in a moment. The very cool thing I like on this box really is the trivia. The trivia, I think, is what kind of defines it, or what type of system it is. It really brings back those vibes of some of the ones I've tested in the past, and especially like buzztime. I feel like there could be some more refinement here, but I mean, it works great. And the idea is you can have your phone or your tablet with you, bring it into your local business that you're visiting, say restaurant, pub, bar, tavern, whatever, and you can play along. And it's got a venue code that you can basically enter the venue, what venue in, and scan the code and so forth. Yeah, I have this one blurred out for obvious reasons because I don't want to say where I got this exact one from. And it's all dependent on which business, and you kind of play as a group within that business against all the other bars, restaurants, and so forth, and businesses that have this box that people are playing on. Does allow for home mode, where you can basically say I'm not at a venue and you can play the trivia still there. It was called Chive Trivia, but I think they've moved more toward branding it with their own Atmosphere TV thing, which is a very cool thing. We got a nostalgia TV thing. I'm just going to go on a few of these and let them play for a few seconds just because of copyrights. I'm not going to go crazy with this stuff, but just some clips and stuff from movies that they're playing on this situation here from, I'm guessing, probably mostly the 80s, based on the lettering. We have something on food, different food type, culinary things, diving, form, whatever that is. You got games, and it's just general games where you got to guess different things going on. Happy TV, which I guess things that inspire happiness. Travel, or escape channels where you basically get these nice scenics and stuff. I don't know how many ads I'm going to hit as I'm going into this because it's just totally random. But yeah, like right now they're kind of just showing desert mountain kind of thing, I guess, from what I can see on my small little screen, but basically showing you different naturescapes and stuff like that. And those things obviously continue playing on and so forth. There is one dedicated towards Texas TV and Florida, which seems to be their big markets right now. I have seen this in a few different places throughout the state. Got like an Angry Birds channel, Happy TV. Okay, and Pause, I guess, is all just a like mostly children's based situation. So probably more cartoonish type stuff or child oriented things, cutesy things like that. And you'll notice one thing about this, and scrolling through here, and Weather Channel would have been nice, but no news. Because you know what? You go to your restaurant, you go to your bar, you want to take a break from all the craziness in the news, whether you're on one side or the other, in the middle. It's just sometimes it gets overwhelming. You want to go out have a nice meal or just have a few adult beverages or just go to a place to hang out. You don't want to be bothered with all that stuff. So these are all nice little things just to kind of, when you're at the restaurant, maybe you don't have enough to talk about. And I think that the key thing on this, and especially why I'm keying on really on this trivia, is I've been out to eat. I don't go that often, but when I do, the first thing I notice, I see a family sitting at the table. They're all on their phones, not even talking to each other. I think with something like this, playing in a restaurant or a situation like that, I think it really brings where if they are going to be on their tablets, at least it's interactive. You can talk about the trivia questions, and at least you get some family time in there. I mean, really, I think anytime you're going out for the family for a nice meal, I mean, it should be a situation where, no, you keep your phones put away. Keep them off the table. If it rings or text, you can answer it a half hour, hour later after you're done eating. That's just my public service comment for the for the moment. But very cool. Yes, and I did say about custom playlists. This is where you can set up which ones, or you can create an actual playlist that does certain types of things. And then, of course, your settings in here, which I'm not going to go into because I think it gives away too much information about the product, which is why I blurred that out. But that, in a nutshell, is your Atmosphere TV system. I got to say, I give this 2 thumbs up. I absolutely love the idea. I love most of the execution. I feel like there's a few things missing here. I'm going to key on the trivia once again. I think they should look at buzz time a little more, and it'd be nice when the trivia question is answered, they give you some kind of factoid. And the other thing I've noticed, having used this at different places around the city, is if I bring my tablet with me, sometimes it'd be nice to use it in landscape mode instead of using it in portrait mode. It just makes it easier to set it on the table and play. And same with my phone. It would be a nice option to just be able to turn it the opposite way and play it horizontal rather than vertical. So that's one kind of thing they can improve on. And as far as those viral clips within the trivia, I could take or leave them. I'd rather see more information about what's going on inside the actual trivia, like even the video matching up with the trivia questions. But again, that's refinement, and that's neither here nor there. It's still a great product. The other second thing I think is missing here, there really needs to be a home edition of this. That you can download on your Google TV, or you can download on your Apple TV or such device, or Roku TV, that allows you to access some of this content. Particularly the trivia would be nice, bringing that back in the loop. Simply because it's another ad revenue. There's commercials playing, and there's things going on that are advertising. So it feels like that whole thing on their end, not necessarily our end, we're just, we have to go to a restaurant, which I guess the whole drive is to bring people out to the restaurants to play this. But sometimes at a home bar situation or whatever, it would be nice to be able to have some type of option for that. And I mean, I'd gladly pay $2.99, $3.99 a month to be able to have access to the trivia service on my television without having to go through my tablets and do some kind of weird thing, setting it up like that. But again, if you only have a residence and you don't have a business, but if you do have a business, it's something you may want to take a look at. You can visit their website. You just look up Atmosphere TV. It'll show right up on any search string. And again, I am not endorsing or sponsoring this product in any way. Just a simple review of something very different I've seen, and a neat idea that I think is on its way there. I can't say it's 100%, but I'll say it is pretty dang cool. That'll do it for this ijdm. I appreciate you watching. I will see you next time.